What's going on here? Mr. Low Budget Phantom here, coming with my first commentary-esque video. I don't do a lot of commentary on my videos because it's weird. I feel like I'm not talking to anybody and whatever. This video is going to be about Season 6 Smite. I'm excited for it. More than I thought I would be. The rosters were announced today, and I literally shit myself the second I saw a couple of rosters, more or less all of them. So this is going to be more of a personal opinion. I'm not a professional or anything like that. It's just what I feel. Every team I go through is going to be pretty much who's on the team, and I'm gonna try to deliver from looking at the rosters over and over again what I feel like is going to be one question mark for every team based on what I've seen last year and over the couple of years I have been paying attention to Smite. So I'm going to go through the list of teams in order that they're on the Smite website. I'm not going to, start with my favorite team and work my way down and or the favorite that everybody sees for the new rosters. I'm just going to go straight from top to bottom while we watch this incredible assault gameplay because everybody loves assault, right? right. This is going to be so low budget. I love it. All right, first team up, Splice. We know who they are. The roster hasn't changed from the end of last year. You got Cyclone Spin, Roar, Maswal, Sino, and Divios. What more can you say about it? I mean, they were pretty much kind of like the Cinderella team last year, considering how they started off in spring. Then they moved up in summer, started showing a little bit, and then fall through Worlds. It was insane how that team played, and they actually met my expectations because after I saw how fall split ended, the first thing I thought to myself is there's no way this team does not win Worlds. Even though they weren't my favorite team, they haven't been my favorite team. It's just something that you see if you watch sports or anything like that. You see momentum with teams, and you're just like, there's no way this team doesn't win. Splice is one of them. So for me, it's not much I can go for as far as my opinions on this team, but I want to try to deliver one question mark with the team, and that one question mark with the team is going to be, of course, the expectation of defending Worlds. United won Season 4. Look what happened in Season 5 at Worlds. You never know what's going to happen. So that would be my question mark. Can they, as a team, meet the expectation of being the best team in the SPL next season? Do I think they'll be able to do it? Yeah, but if they get figured out, do they recover? Do they know how to adjust? That was a question going into Worlds. It never really had to happen because they didn't have to adjust the shit because they still ran through everybody into the World Championship. So Splice is not much to talk about. Just a question mark. Can they do it again? Next team up, United. United's a little bit different, and it's an interesting team. You got the artist formerly known as Vedium, formerly known as Clout, now called Vedium again. In the ADC, you got Kalas from Team Rival, moving on to United. Big Man Tings, Ice Baby, who was a surprise. I didn't think he was actually going to accept any SPL offers the way he was talking, and he shows up. And then the one lone member from last year, Benji. United was defending world champions, and we saw what happened. Worlds didn't work out anywhere near what they thought it would. But, I mean, like football term is, any given Sunday, any team can beat any team. It's just, are you ready to come out and do it? So, question mark with this team, I wouldn't say there's a couple, but one thing that stands out on the team really, first and foremost, is Ice Baby. Because I've seen some people on YouTube, like during the VODs and everything, say stuff about, Ice isn't really that good. Ice is not bad. And Ice alone helped Rival win a lot of those damn games last year. Let's not even bullshit with it. Ice was the glue guy for that fucking team. If Ice wasn't on Rival, I don't think they would have been as good. That's not saying that Rival, not Rival. That's not saying that Ice is like the best jungler in Europe last year, but he fit that team so perfectly, it worked out for him. So the question mark is, can he himself show anybody and everybody that it wasn't just because I was on team rival? You see it like in good example, say Tom Brady. The biggest thing about Tom Brady's people say is, will he be as successful as he is or he has been if he was on a different team? Or is he a product of the system? Is Ice Ice a product of the system that rival had? Ice Ice has to prove that's not the case. Do I think he can do it? Yeah, I think Ice Ice is very capable of doing so. And the other question mark on that team really is Big Man Tings, because he moved over to mid and he did all right. I liked him last year, and I mean I liked Mouse last year. They aren't my favorite team, but you know a couple of those players on that team I'm fans of, and I expected a lot of them, and so did a lot of people apparently, and they didn't make Worlds, which was a disappointment to a lot of people, including myself. Will Big Man Tings elevate himself to that higher level of mid play? Like, is he going to be regarded as one of the best mid players by the end of the year? That's the question mark. Is his God pool expanded? Because his God pool wasn't really, I won't say it wasn't strong, but we didn't see a lot of them last year. You know, what more can he bring to the table? Really, those are only two question marks at United. I think they're going to be a good team. Not the same at United, of course. I don't expect anything different than Benji. Benji is a good player. Vedium's a good player. Unfortunately, he found no success in placements, and he drew a lot of ire from me personally, even though I don't know him. But you know the comments he made about, I think it was Nocturnes, whoever they played against, about that really not that good. I'm a sportsmanship type of person, so I kind of took that the wrong way, and I don't even play for the fucking team. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with being confident neither, so I wasn't too mad about it. So United, keep an eye on them. I think they're going to be pretty good. Next team, the question mark for this team is going to be so interesting to me for me to say it. Space Station Gaming, everybody's favorite guy, including myself, Barracuda. I love Barracuda. I watch his streams. And I just think to myself, if I could be that happy in life, I would be complete. I would get my ass kicked and smile like him. I would be amazed. I don't know how he does it, but that man has the disposition of a goddamn angel. Jeff Hindler, Venenu, Annister, Aquarius, same exact team last year. I have high expectations for Space Station because of this roster, which makes their question mark as obvious as ever is, will this be a year where they fall short? Me personally, I thought they was gonna make Worlds yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, last year. It's fucking yesterday. It felt like yesterday, even though it's been fucking months. I felt like they was gonna make Worlds last year because Trifecta was not on my radar to get through placements, and that shit happened. Fucked up my bracket. Their question mark is, can they make Worlds and can they succeed? For me, success for them, of course, they want to win the World Championship. Who doesn't? But for me, they need to set their bar as making it into Worlds and being a threat in Worlds. That's the biggest thing. Other than that, the best player of the team by far, to me, is Aqua. I think Aqua is the reason why they won a lot of their games last year. Barracuda came back into form last year, so did Jeff. Venenu, we know he's capable of playing the game. I mean, he's a Smite World MVP, and he played damn good in Season 4 finals. And he did alright last year. I wasn't expecting a trade between him and Baskin, but, you know, shit happens. You get over it. So Space Station, they got a kind of a weird question mark, but I don't want to see them fail. That's the biggest thing. I think that team is capable of winning Worlds day in and day out. We'll see what happens. Next team on the list, SK Gaming. I'm gonna say this now, and I'm sure a lot of people are saying it. They're gonna win more than one game this year. There's no way they don't. SK Gaming. If you look at the roster, you should know exactly who that roster is. It's the same exact roster Trifecta had. They just moved over to SK. So Zatman, Neil Paul, Sam, and Scary D. Sleeper team. Extreme sleeper team, especially with the two other teams I'm about to come across here that were announced. I like Paul. I'm just gonna say it right now. I like Paul. Paul is the most exciting player to watch in the SPL. I used to watch his ranked games. That's how fun he is to watch. And Sam stepped his shit up to match Paul, and they managed to get into Worlds, and they got further in Worlds than I thought they'd get in Worlds. So I mean, this team is capable of winning. And Zatman, I mean, you can't sleep on Zatman. He's a pro's pro. He's been playing Smite for years before I even knew what Smite was as a fucking game, because I didn't have PC when it came out, so I didn't know what the whole MOBA thing. I didn't know nothing about that, and then I started watching this shit and going back looking at some old stuff with Smite, seeing Zatman, seeing how he plays. Zatman's good. The question mark is, can they play at the level they played in fall going into Worlds? Because if they play like that, if teams continue being unable to figure out Paul and how to neutralize Paul, SK is going to be a problem. And like I said, SK, I know they're going to win. As a team with the name SK, they're going to win more than one game next year. And they let me down this year. They let me down last year. I wasn't going for SK, but that team is good. That team last year was good enough to win more than one game or one set. So we'll see what happens with SK. And now on to current trifecta. Wowie, I like Wowie. Ionic, I would say this because I haven't been around Smite as many years as a lot of people, so I don't know much about Ionic. But if there's one thing you know, his names ring bells, and I've heard his name a lot, so apparently he's very fucking good. Lasbro, one of my favorite players currently. Weekend and Ducky. There's an extremely obvious question mark with this team. Oh, this is gonna be something. I'm gonna give you my perspective on my side of things. Weekend is the question mark, and here's the thing about Weekend, and I want to distinguish how I feel compared to a lot of people. So you see a lot in the Smite community is Weekend sucks, 667, kill yourself. I don't want to hear that shit. Matter of fact, don't say, I didn't mean to say kill yourself, because people take that shit too literal nowadays. But Weekend doesn't suck in your mind the way he sucks in my mind. You say Weekend sucks, 667, he's not a good jungler. I say Weekend sucks because of the unintended expectation he put on himself as a player. I mean, the guy has I don't know much about PC setups and all that stuff in your house. I don't know nothing about that because I'm Mr. Low Budget. He has his own fucking label. I mean, Jesus Christ. Stuff like that, when you see somebody who has all that for themselves, as well as like the attitude that Weekend has. Now, I'm not to say he's brash or anything, but he's a confident guy. He's confident in his ability to play the game. When you see all that, the first thing you think is, this guy has got to be the best jungler and all this extra shit. I don't think that's expectation he does on purpose. It's just how the chips fall. And when you look at the team, he's going to be the face of the team. He is the question mark. Like, can he neutralize people's perspective of him through his play and leading the team to greater heights? Lasbro was my favorite jungler in the minor league last year. I wanted to see him go pro way before this year. I thought that SK might have looked at him, but they didn't. Him going to mid, it's going to be very interesting. But this team is going to survive on the back of Weekend's play, in my mind. I have no problem with Wowie. I think Wowie is fucking amazing. He should have been pro last year as well. Ionic, like I said, I don't know much about him, but names ring bells, so I have no problem with the dual lane. It's just, what kind of Weekend are we going to see? That's the big thing. I got a couple more minutes here because the video's got 6 more minutes, and now I don't feel like putting another clip on here, so we're going to run through this. Pittsburgh Knights, this fucking team is broken. I'm sorry, this is the Golden State Warriors of the goddamn SPL. Vote, Emilzy, Zeros, Adapting, Deathwalker. Holy shit. How did they put that team together? And can I get their job? Because I want to be able to put teams together like this in anything in life. This is amazing. Vote by far is like one of the best performing EU ADCs last year. He stepped his shit up all year. He played great all year. We know who Millsy is. We know who Zeros is. We know who Dapting is, who is by far and for a long time been said to be one of the best players in Smite. And then Deathwalker, I mean, no shit, who doesn't know who Deathwalker is when it comes to Smite? If you want me to give you a question mark, is same thing with Space Station. Expectations. Everybody's seen this roster, and I'm sure everybody was like, this team has got to win Worlds. There's no way they don't win Worlds. They win Worlds. Fuck you. Blah blah blah. Move on. They don't win Worlds. Then are we in a situation where we're putting them on a pedestal like Dignitas and they don't make it? And Dignitas was a good fucking team. It's just things happen. I can't spend too much time with Pittsburgh Knights, man. That team looks fucking good. Right now, I think they're number one on a lot of people's list until shit really starts with the preseason games. Renegades. This team interests me. Funballer, iRaffer, Dardes in mid. This fucking guy. Cherio and Nika. Now, for years, my favorite support player was Dardes. For years, I felt like the best player in Smite, even with the presence of basking and adapting, was Dardes. Dardes playing mid interests me a lot. That's your question mark. Because we saw him move to ADC and it wasn't great. Would that hold true the same way as he plays the mid role? Nika, he has to have a Scary D type of year because Scary D played great last year. Nika should do the same thing. Cherio, I like him in the jungle. I've always liked him in the jungle. Raffer, we know Raffer is Funballer. He's going to be one of the best ADCs this year. I'm going to call it now because he's always been good. Is Dardes going to be a good mid player? That's the only question mark for me. Here we go. Here's my emotional part. I've been a Team Rival fan for the past couple years, and I'm trying to keep that badge in my pocket. Arkill, PBM, Panda Cat moving over to mid. Captain Twig and Final K. I like this roster. It's kind of sad that's not the same boys I've been rooting for the past couple years, but I like this roster. PBM, one of the best supports in the league. Twig, one of the best junglers. Final K is one of the most slept on solo laners. And Arkill, by far one of the best ADCs. So there's no way around that. Question mark. This was the hardest question mark I can come up with. But it really came down to, once again, the ADC to mid move, which I don't think is a big deal because some mid laners play hunters and in that mid role, and sometimes that doesn't affect nothing. My Snapchat's going off. I'm not reading that shit right now. I'm doing something. Question marks, can they put it together? That's all the question mark I had for Team Rival. I hope Team Rival wins it all because I'm a Team Rival fan. I'm not going to change my badge or change my allegiance because the players are different. I'm a loyal person. I stick to my team, so I'm stick to Team Rival. Hopefully they do well. It's a good team. When you look at those names, it's a good team. It's like, can they just put it all together? 2 teams left. Dignitas. 3 players from last year. 2 new guys. Ataraxia, Heroin in mid lane. And then, of course, Trix, Cuvo, and Variety. This is a good team. I can't really say too much about it. This is a good team. Ataraxia is one of the best hunters of all time. Heroin has always been a good mid laner from what I've seen. And then we all know Trix, Cuvo. Cuvo is by far like one of the top 3 junglers in the SPL last year. And Variety, I mean, Variety's always been a good damn player. I guess the only question mark with this team is the 3 remaining members from last year. Can Cuvo, Variety, and Trix separate themselves from the stigma of they can't perform when it matters? If they can escape that, then they should be fine. If not, then the name Dignitas isn't going to be in a good spot. And the last team on the list, Luminosity, the most controversial team of the offseason. Joshi, Kiki, Sochiki in the support role, Oceans, the Mollusk, I like that guy, and Zalia. This is probably going to be in the bottom of a lot of people's list, even though I think Joshi's amazing. Kiki's always been a good player. The Mollusk, he's been great in the minor league. Zalia's always been great. Oceans, I don't know too much about him. I've seen a little bit of him. He's pretty good. Question mark is, can they play to the level that everybody else has been playing on, because a lot of these other teams look fucking amazing. That's all I can say about Luminosity. So that's it. That's my reaction to season 6. I'm very excited for it. Hopefully some of these teams step up to the plate and meet expectations. Some of these players, there's not much more I can say about it. I'm excited. I'm ready for it. Y'all have a good one.